In this tutorial, I will show you a simple connection of Visual Basic with MySql server database. So let us create our database first. Database name, let's call VBdotNet database, and then create. So we have created our database. I will go and click my Visual Studio and create new project. And we'll call the project name VBdotNet Connection or database connection. In here we will use a very simple way that when someone clicks a button, it will give a message that says database connected, and if the database was not successfully connected, it will show us that it's not connected, a message that tells unsuccessful. So first let us name our button and say test connection, and you can give a name the button or you just leave it as it is and it will give button 1, but it is preferred always to give a name that you know, connection or database connection. It's always good to use a naming convention that works for you. Okay, so here we will do several things. The first one is we need to connect to the database, so we will use imports MySql or MySql data sorry, this should be uppercase, MySql data MySql client. Okay, and what we also need to do is to reference the project, that data.dll. And how to do that? Go to project, add reference, and select MySql.data.dll. If you can't see here, then you go to the path that you install. For my case, it is in here, which is program files, 86 architecture, MySQL or MySQL, then connector.net, assemblies, and then you will find. So it is MySql.data.dll. Then you click add, but right now it's already there for me. I'll just click OK. And by the way, before there was a little green line in here that was showing that was not referenced. If you start with the referencing first, then it will be easy for you. Whenever you start typing, it will pop up like this, MySQL dot, and then data dot, then MySQL client, and then you tap, and that's it. So you already get that. And now we will create our connection variable. So dim connection cn as new MySQL connection, MySQL connection, SQL connection. Okay, and then what we need to do is a function that is a boolean that will create for us the connection. And how to do that is let's say function, and the function is connect to the database. What it does is it connects us to the database, and this function will be as a boolean type, and of course it will return something, but let us make the connection first. We need to do try. So try the connection. If it's successful, then do this. If it is not successful, then do this. This is the catch. Okay, so with cn, which is the connection, then dot connection string, and this connection string is our database path. Of course, the server is localhost, and then we have user. That's the default for my PHP myadmin, which is root in this case, and the password is not set yet. If you have a password, you can just type the password, but for right now I don't have any password set, so I'll just leave it blank equal and leave it, don't type anything with it. Database, and then here goes our database name. So our database is VBdotNet database, VBdotNetDB. Go here, VBdotNet database, and that's it for the database. It's my fault. I usually use C#, and C# has these brackets. We're not using C# now. Okay, connection string equals to, there you go. Okay, so when you do that, and then you need to open the connection. So open the connection, and if you use C#, you will do that, which is wrong in this case, so just leave it. Okay, so when you do that, after the with, we need to return true because the connection has taken place. So do this connection, open the connection, and when you do that, then return true. So returning true will give us connected. Great. If we're not able to connect, then that's the catch part, return false. So remember, whenever you create a boolean function, you have to return true and false, and that's what's going on here. Now we tell if the connection is successful, it's true. If it's false, if it's not successful, then false. In our button test connection, we need when people they click, it will give them a message that says it's connected or it's not connected. So we will check this function, which is the connect to the database. If this function is true, then we will display a message that says connected. If it is false, then we display a message that says false. So if connection to database equals true, then display a message. What that message is, you're gonna say message box.show. What we need to display is connected to the database, and on the top the message will have database connection, the little box, the message that will be displayed on the top, and there is a comma between them. Well, and also message box button should be just okay, and message box dot icon is information. Great. So that's what we need to do when it's connected. And then and if, let us test the connection. And boom. There you go, connected to the database. So here is the second message, the second text that we type, DB connection. So it's telling what this box stands for, and it is information. So that those are the things that I use, message box button and message box icon. That's what they meant. Thank you for watching. You can modify the code more.